I had this idea when I was in the shower that I wanted to draw something, and I couldn't think of what, and then I just thought of this picture. And
because this is based on a real life incident.
Yeah, well, it's based on how a real life incident should have ended. Yeah, I was delivering mail, and there were 3 turkeys that started following me down the street. And like I didn't really think anything of it because there's a ton of turkeys that were up in this area on my route. But they started coming across the street, and they're just staring at me. And every time I'd turn around and look at them, they would stop. It was almost like I was playing like red light, green light, or whatever.
Right.
I'd turn around and they would stop. So then I started walking and turned away from them, and they got real close. I'm like, okay, this is getting a little uncomfortable. And the 2 of them tried to bite at me, and then one actually so I started swiping at him with the mail a little bit, like, get away, get back.
Right.
And then one like jumped up and tried to like slash at me with its foot.
That's so weird.
Yeah. And they have big claws.
Yeah.
So like I just kind of like just swiped at him and put my arms up high and made a bunch of noise and chased him away, and then just went back to the vehicle. But I'm like, man, I should have just whacked him with something. So that's what this is. But
I wonder if it's like a territory thing?
I don't know. I haven't seen them in a while. So maybe they're gone.
Well, because this was before Thanksgiving last year, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's why they're gone. I always love this shoe design, even though it's very impractical. I don't actually know what these big things are on the toes. That just
kind of remind me a little bit of the shell toes.
Yeah.
They call it the Adidas, or
I'm not sure the brand, but yeah, I know what you're talking about, and that's kind of where I got the idea from. But I put like this big shell on it, and then I have like these, I don't know, toes on the shoes that stick out, almost like, kind of like claws. It's almost like they have like I'm drawing like a lizard foot, and the shoe has like toes sticking out. And like this character's had shoes like that since I have drawn the full body of the character. Like it almost looks weird to me because I haven't drawn him as a full body in a long time.
Yeah, you've just been doing faces.
I've just been doing faces. It's almost foreign to me to draw a full body of a character because I've been working so much just doing like emotes and stuff.
Yeah.
Where I draw with real thick lines and real dark, like bold colors, stuff that'll stand out. And trying to draw like a full body felt really weird. I actually really love drawing this character's face. Like, I don't care if I would draw that same face 50 times. But, like, for some reason, just, like, the duck bill face is always so fun for me. I actually don't even know how that happened.
I was just about to ask, how did that come into being? Because for people that don't know that might listen to this is Dunces.
Yeah.
This is you in cartoon form, basically.
Yeah, he's not wearing his normal outfit, like it says cartoon uniform. He's wearing a mail carrier uniform. But yeah, he started off because my buddy Chris, he wrote a few short stories that were kind of just poking fun at basically high school, because we went to high school together, and it was a bunch of nonsense, but it was so over the top, goofy cartoon stuff. And I just drew characters based on some of the stories he wrote, because I can't write, so I could draw. So I was like almost illustrating some of the stories he was writing.
Okay.
And the character did not look like this. It basically looked like almost like a troll. It looked so weird. Like, it's almost embarrassing. I'll dig them out and show you, but I am definitely not gonna post that.
I may have seen one picture of his original form, but it's been a while.
And I don't even know how it evolved into having like this duck bill of a mouth. And it almost is kind of problematic because it makes it very difficult if I want to try to draw like a front view of his face, because like if it was just a round face that you just have a mouth like in the center and a nose in the middle, like you basically draw a line straight up and down, you have like a nose and a mouth. Whenever it's like a duck bill, it's like I honestly don't know how to do a front view of it. I've looked at drawings of like Donald Duck and Daffy Duck, because if you actually look at actual cartoon ducks, you can see how it's done, and they've done it, but I have such a hard time trying to translate that into the character that I came up with. The shading is so cool.
Yeah, I just got real quiet because I'm just watching.
Yeah, it's weird because like it looks bad at first because I'm doing it just in black, and it's like, ugh, you're just like putting blobs all over everything. Like, what are you doing? But like, once it's done, I could turn down the opacity. That's what I do. I turn it down to about like 30 to 35%. So, and I set it as like a brightness layer. So it's not just like black. It actually is.
I just saw what you were talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Like the type of layer it is determines how it affects the color on the screen. And a brightness layer, I mean, this isn't just what I've learned. I don't really know what it's doing, but like a brightness layer seems to be, it achieves the effect that I try to get. So that's the only reason I use it. I don't know if it's the right one to use, but it's the one I use because it works for the purposes I want.
Yeah, if it works. I mean, what's wrong with that?
But, I mean, I could turn down the opacity first and then just draw in gray so I see the shadow. But for some reason, I like to do it in all black because I like the reveal of it all at once.
Okay.
I don't know. It's almost like you make it look like shit with all these, like, super harsh noir shadows. Like, look at his face. It just, like, makes it look like he's in, like, some kind of... Like, nobody has shadows that are just straight black on your face, but it looks so dark and creepy.
Yeah.
But then when you turn the opacity down to like 35%, it makes everything just like a darker tone of the color that you're putting the shading on. Same with the white, it's a lighter tone of the color you're putting the shading on. Mm-hmm. And like unveiling it all at once always feels really cool to me, instead of just drawing in gray and watching it happen as I do it. I don't know. It's a weird psychological thing, I guess. I have no idea.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because, I mean, we've talked about it before where you said you don't like people watching you draw, like, on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask, why do you think that is?
I don't know why. It always feels weird having somebody... I guess it feels like being in school and having somebody look over my shoulder while I'm doing something, or I feel like somebody's going to tell me I'm doing it wrong, or maybe part of it is like I didn't go to school for art, and so I don't know the right way, quote, right way. I don't know if there is a right way, but I don't know the right way to do a thing, like to draw a cartoon or to color something, because I was never shown the right way. And
is it more about technique, maybe?
Well, yeah, I guess that's part of it. Or like, just like I don't know some of the programs, like the program I use, this Clip Studio, like I never was taught how to use it. I was never shown how to use Photoshop or any of that stuff. I just kind of learned by doing, but I guess most people probably do. But I don't know. I guess I get nervous that somebody that does know what they're doing will come in and say, oh, you should be doing this or you should be doing that. I mean, you experience that when you stream just playing video games. If you play Minecraft or something, somebody comes into your stream and says, oh, you should use this block because it's more efficient to build like this.
Right.
And that kind of shit's just frustrating. So I didn't want to even deal with that, so I just took myself out of that equation so I no longer even have to think about it. The end.